Hey guys, I am so excited to share with you about writing this week. We are working on session 9 where we're going to gather more evidence to support each of our opinions. Do you have your book? I have mine ready to go because we're going to need it for this session. I saw a lot of you doing a great job looking closely at your books, looking for details, and then writing about them during our last session. Amazing work. Today we're going to kick it up a notch. Our goal is to learn that you can form opinions about your book, but first you need to have evidence to support your opinions. This gives you power. I love that face where he's like, yeah, I can do this, because that is the power that you have in your writing. So now that you are doing so well at finding details and writing about them, we're going to take it to that next level to find evidence to support our opinions. So our class book, I'm going to kind of revisit our class book about Nate the Great and the phony clue. And since we're not all together in class, just think about maybe some of the opinions you might have of Nate in our book. Okay, just think about it. So, when we think about our opinions of our main character, we start to look through our book for evidence to support that opinion. So, last time we said in the book, Nate the Great and the Phony Clue, Nate has to figure out who left the torn piece of paper with the word VITA on his doorstep, right? Do you remember that? So, I'm going to take that piece of evidence and I'm going to think about what in the book, where did that happen? And what happened when he did that? Says on page 11, VITA could be the start of vitamin A, B1, B2, B6, C, D, E, G, or Vita could be the middle or end of a word, right? So that's when he discovered that piece of paper on his doorstep. All right, so I found it in my book. So the first piece of evidence we find, now we write about this evidence in our letter, okay? Then you'd find a second piece of evidence and we would write about that in our letter. So a couple other pieces of evidence that we found was that Nate has friends who try to help him with these kinds of mysteries, but he is the only one who solves them. Okay, so I know at the end of my book, I'm not going to give away the ending because I don't want to tell him exactly what happens. But we all know Nate the Great is a pretty great detective, right? So I think that part of Annie where we ran past Annie and Fang. I solved the case, I said. I knew you would, Annie, said Annie, and Annie and Fang started to run beside us. So that really shows that Annie supports Nate and his mysteries, right? And Nate is a great detective because he looks closely at things and notices things that others don't. There's a picture in here where there's a cat in the tree, and Nate notices that there is a piece of paper next to that cat. Maybe other people didn't notice that. It says, Nate the Great was in luck. I saw a piece of paper stuck on a twig close to Big Hex. Too close. So, those are some evidence from the book that I found to support my opinions. So, next, I'm going to tell you an opinion I have about our class book. Then, I want you to help me figure out the evidence to support my opinion. So, here we go. We're going to start writing it down. So again, I start my letter with a heading. That's our date, right? 12/7/20. Then I have my greeting, and the greeting says, Dear second grade reader. Now I start on my body where I'm trying to give evidence. I said, here's my opinion. I think Nate the Great and the Phony Clue is a great book. Nate, my opinion about the character, Nate is a great detective. He even says so on the first page of the book. He is able to learn what his first clue, VITA, is all about. Remember how we talked about that earlier? And then the next one I said was Nate has great friends. They encourage him to solve mysteries. They help, like when Annie says, quote, using quotes from the book that shows evidence, I knew you would, when Nate says he solved the case. And my third opinion is that Nate has great attention to detail. Nate finds out that Rex the cat tears, rips, slits, and slashes. There's my quote. You saw that? And notices the piece of paper too close to him in the tree. So using evidence, I'm quoting it directly from the book in my second two paragraphs, but in the first paragraph, I kind of restate what happened. So you can do it either way. I'm missing something in my letter. Can you figure out what it is that I'm missing? Don't you forget to add that very, very important piece. So today, our activity, now you see how to form an opinion and find your evidence in a book to support your opinion. It's really pretty easy once you get the hang of it. So we're going to put this concept into practice today as we write. We're going to state our opinion and then go back to our book and find evidence to support our opinions and then write about it. Another thing that we like to do is our anchor chart. So this might be where you want to start today. You can pause the video to go ahead and make this anchor chart in your writer's notebook if you'd like to, or you can do it at another time. So our anchor chart says, when we write, we're going to make it stronger, longer, and more convincing. We need to make sure that in our letter, we introduce our book, we write our opinion, we give reasons, remember that great word because, we talk to our evidence, we add sections or pages to our letter. We can use juicy story words and back it up. Use the book to prove it. I would love to see that written down in the anchor chart in your writer's notebook if you can. Today I won't be conferring, but I just want you to remember that books often teach us lessons. So what's the lesson that you're learning from the book that you learned that you can put into your letter as well? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great time writing. You are all great writers.